Sports betting brethren, hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd, sports betting market analyst with OddsJam.com. We teach you how to bet like a pro, and today's topic is DFS versus player prop. A lot of people get them mixed up. Daily fantasy sports or DFS is different, has a lot of similarities, of course. There's lots of platforms that are mixing the two, and we're going to go through that today. We're going to kind of differentiate both sides so you can understand how to use the tools at OddsJam better to profit much more and get this separated out for those that are confused. So let's take a look. All right, let's define DFS or daily fantasy sports. It's usually a roster of players or roster, whether it be NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, all the different leagues, and on production. So you might choose players that have certain points for rebounds, for assists, all those things at various levels. So you're trying to produce a roster that has players that produce the most points in order for you to have the highest score in order for you to win. Now, there's all kinds of games and contests in and amongst that, whether it's a sort of a tournament type situation or a head-to-head play. But at the end of the day, you're selecting and drafting, if you will, the players that will have what you think is the most production, which can really vary day in and day out. But that's DFS, and that's its entity by itself. We'll show you an example up here in a minute. All right, player prop. Player prop bet is really simple. It's just an individual player going off of certain stats, or they're going to go over or under performance. So if you think they're going to outperform their averages and their norm against the matchup that they have that particular day, whether it's points or rebounds or touchdowns or yards, whatever the stat is. If you think they're going to go over and above that particular day, that's an easy bet. That's an over. If you think they're going to struggle and have some issues, maybe for whatever reason, you would play the under on that individual proposed player prop. I'm going to take you to DraftKings and also to OddsJam to show you exactly what I'm talking about in player prop bets, and also show you the tools of how you can apply the market insights to help you profit. So let's take a look. Okay, guys, here we are at DraftKings. This is the daily fantasy tab. You can see here across the top, they have sportsbook, casino, marketplace, everything else, but it's certainly the daily fantasy or DFS slates are set up here. And here's the different types of contests. You know, if it's NBA, NFL, NHL contests, and the different types of styles, different entry fees, prizes, things like that. So if you want to enter one, you simply go to these and you start to fill out a roster. You hit this button and it'll open up and allow you to sort of create your roster. Okay, and as mentioned, this is going to be a roster you fill out, and you pick and choose whoever you want. If you wanted to skip around to different teams, different situations, obviously that's all your call. So if you want to switch to a particular player and have that added to your roster, you fill that out there. Let's say maybe you want to go back to this Colts-Falcons game and pick out someone there to add. Again, this is all up to you on how you fill out your roster. I'm not remotely saying these are players you want to choose. I'm just trying to show you how you would build that roster and then eventually hit enter. So that's pretty cool, pretty fun. And again, it does max it at a 20 entry max. You had players years ago that were, filling out large numbers of contests and, essentially mathematically pulling off some wins by doing it that way. But that is the DFS, mechanism and how that kind of works, choosing players throughout the league or leagues and different types of contests, different entry fees, different prizes, things like that. So that's definitely something that is different than the sportsbook. Let's take a look at that next. So as mentioned, in the sportsbook is a player prop type bet. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the NBA. We'll show you what we're talking about relative to an NBA type wager. So let's just let's take a look at this Phoenix Suns Portland Trailblazers game. We might be looking at different player points. You can see here there's the different options and choices to scroll through and find player rebounds, combos. A combo is something that you're going to add, points, rebounds, assists, things like that. But if you just wanted to play, say, Devin Booker over 28.5 minus 115, you could do that. And over here in your bet slip, you could add that wager to your list. You can see here, we'll scroll this over and you can put in whatever amount you want. And there's your odds at minus 115. If you think Devin Booker is going to go under, you could certainly do that. You could actually come back here and cancel that out and change that over to the under if you wanted to. But again, you're going to have all the different choices to player prop bet over under the various stats, and that's kind of how that works. So we'll take another quick look at this combo just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Again, player combos are going to be, as mentioned, the points, rebounds, assists. So this is a little bit more math you need to do. If you think it's going to be over 41.5 for Mr. Booker, then you would go with that. But you can see there's lots of different opportunities to bet in these markets. Player prop markets are very, very fruitful, and I'm going to show you here with the OddsJam tools how to identify where you would want to go with all this information and all these player props and all these bets. This is just one game. This is just the Suns game, Suns Blazers game. There are a lot of markets, as you can see, with all these being markets to wager on, individual players to wager on. It's in the hundreds of thousands. So I'm going to show you a tool and a couple different methods to identify some good value when you go to place these to be profitable. All right, guys, here's a couple tools and methods on how to identify some good player prop bets. And what I'm going to do is actually go to the positive expected value page. And in the markets, you can choose to just get player prop type information. I have this on all three: alternate market, main market, and player prop. What I'm doing here is just having this set to the sports books of my choice, and also the player prop information. You can come over here and add additional sports books. Currently I have 14 that I've got set up. But again, there's a list of all the different sports books you can get this information from, so it's a really handy tool. Another handy tool is certainly the Fantasy Optimizer. So if you come over here on the left-hand side, the tool that is going to open up is the OddsJam's tools for the various platforms, Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay, all of these. But you're going to get data and information that's going to be very, very helpful to use. So first one in this example is Tua, the Dolphins over passing yards. And so again, that's going to be a player prop that you can use to your advantage and again, find some pricing and find some value with the various sports books and the various platforms. So let's say if you just wanted to skip around and go to a different one, you could. If you're on Fliff, that would be one that you could check out to find some market information. And again, just that in and of itself will provide some alternative market to some mainline market information. And of course, you can always change that per stat. Let's say, for example, if you wanted to just use certain hockey stats, say players' shots on goal, you could. This tool will also put this to you in the over-under. If you want to find any overs, specifically hunt and search for this, you certainly can. And you can see you're going to have a lot of data come up with the various leagues, the various sports. There is a lot of information here that you can use to your advantage. And so if you want to be very specific, you certainly can, and use this tool in many, many, many different ways to find the value. And the value is literally everywhere, all different sports. It's something that can save you hours and hours of your day's time to put this all together and to have the advantage of the pricing to find some good opportunities that you can take back to the sports books and to the DFS sites and use that to profit over and over again. Okay, guys, there's obviously the difference between DFS and player prop type bets, and also the tools you can use to identify and find value when you put together the DFS rosters, or you do the platforms like the DFS platforms like Prize Picks, Underdog, those types of things, or just individual wagers on a player prop type bet that you can use some of the tools at OddsJam to help you make good choices, good decisions that are mathematically profitable. So again, if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any other topics you want me to cover here at Bet School, let me know as well. And as always, appreciate you stopping by. Please make sure you like and subscribe as we bring you more betting education. Now let's go make some mathematical money.